Hi everybody, so this is going to be my first movie review for you. I'm actually going to be reviewing the new Star Wars movie Solo. I saw it last night. So I'm very torn on this movie. If you know me, you know I have been a Star Wars fan my entire life. I love Star Wars. I, for many years, lived and breathed Star Wars. I still kind of do. So I absolutely love Star Wars. Loved Star Wars, let me say. Grew up on the original movies, which were phenomenal. Read tons of books, which I absolutely loved. Then later in life, the movies were re-released. And I was excited, even though they changed some things and made it a little bit, silly. But then episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out. I hated episode 1, but I still saw it like 7 times in the theater because you gotta support Star Wars. Episode 2 I thought was pretty good. Episode 3 I really enjoyed. Then George Lucas decided to sell Star Wars to Disney. And life changed for Star Wars fans everywhere. Episode 7 was so well done, but it was so wrong. If you ever read books and had any knowledge at all of Star Wars, it was so way off, but it was really well done. So that was really confusing to me. And then Rogue One came out, and I loved Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was great. I couldn't really say a whole lot of bad about it. This is not a review on that anyway, so I'm not going to get into it. Then episode 8 came out, and I don't know if I've ever been more angry at a movie in my life. The story was horrible. It was plotless. It was pointless. It was still way off from the books, and there was what I considered to be an actual jab at true fans who read the books in the movie. So I didn't go into Solo expecting much. I thought, okay, well, I have to see it. It's a Star Wars movie, but I'm probably going to hate this movie. And this guy looks nothing like Harrison Ford. And that guy, So I was just like, I'm not prepared to like this movie. So I didn't go on opening day. I went actually 1 day later technically, but it was really 2 days later because, it opened a day early. So we went last night and the theater was pretty empty, and I'm like, oh, everybody's thinking the same thing we're thinking, that this is just not going to be what it's cracked up to be. But I had read that Mark Hamill said it was pretty good, and he's pretty honest with his reviews, and also that Harrison Ford was a fan. But I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just going to see it and I'll see. So the movie started, and I'm not going to give spoilers, but the movie started, and it took me a while to get used to this dude's face, because I'm like, this is not Han Solo. But the actor who played him really did an amazing job of getting some of his characteristics. He was very good at acting like Han Solo. So after a while, that didn't even bother me so much. The story, I think, was decent. It was a decent story. There were parts to it that I was like, I don't understand why in the world they would do that. But again, it's Disney. No offense to Disney, but they're not exactly known for keeping stories what they're supposed to be. That being said, I was very happy with the fact that Ron Howard kept it. It was the first movie in a long time that felt like a Star Wars movie. It didn't feel cartoony. It didn't feel childish. It felt like a Star Wars movie. And for that, I am so thankful. However, there were things that really annoyed me in the movie. They were reaching way too hard. It was almost as if you lost parts of the story to the fact that they were reaching to try to make this character development happen so that you could end up with Han where we met Han. And I think it lacked a lot because of that. They just tried way too hard. And they also redid so many scenes from Star Wars and from Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back. I know I said those out of order. Forgive me. That it got kind of annoying. Like the first time, like, oh yeah, they're gonna bring him to that cell. Okay, yeah, that's the same thing. Wow, yeah, I've seen that before. And then after like the third or fourth time, you're like, yeah, did we just like chop pieces up out of the original three movies and just throw them together in different orders? And it was getting kind of annoying. It was not a great movie, but it was a whole lot better than I expected it to be. I can't say that I hated it either. I can say I hated episode 8. Like, hated it. I can't really think of redeeming qualities for episode 8, but for Solo, it was a decent movie. Would I see it in the theater again? No, I wouldn't. Would I watch it, on DVD or whatever? Definitely, I would. I don't think they did injustice to the characters. I think they did a very good job. There were characters that I didn't know why they were there, but also I was happy with how many references there were to the old movies because it showed that they were playing more to the real Star Wars to me. So even though it was really annoying that they kept, redoing scenes, in a way I could appreciate it because I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. Ron Howard is doing something good here. He's saying, you know what, these are tied to the original movies, and this feels more Star Wars. And to sit in a theater and have it feel Star Wars was beautiful. Going on way too long, and I'm sorry. Cussing, there were a few mild cuss words, so if you have small children, you probably would want to see it first. There were some, I wouldn't say inappropriate, just not really for little kids. Watch it before your kids watch it, language was not really bad. It's Star Wars. So just, yeah, I would say see it when it comes out on video. But if you want to see it in the theater, then see it in the theater. Or wait till it gets to a cheap theater. It was definitely a Star Wars movie, and for that I'm thankful.